gentlemen of the press, we've got this press briefing this morning, basically to look at two issues, and then thereafter, as guided, we can take questions on either follow-up or any other questions that you may have ready. Number one, we want to talk about documents flying around on social media, on named platforms, among them the Patriotic Front Facebook page, also another page known as Grindstone Television, and also on the page of Mr. Fred Makando Mmembe. I think we have all seen that on these pages, on the Patriotic Front page and that of the Grindstone Television page, there are two documents there that are purported to have been issued. One by the Ministry of Internal Affairs or Internal Security, and the other one is purported to have been issued by State House. We want to categorically state that those documents are fake, they do not exist, and there is no such document that has either been written or issued by either State House or the Ministry of Internal Affairs. It is a concoction of whoever authored it and wherever they got it from, details of which, going forward, they may be privileged to be able to tell the nation where they got the same from. There's another one, which is an email purporting to have been sent to the Secretary General of the UPND, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Defense, and the several names there are mentioned, including that of the President, of Mr. Clayson Hamasaka, of myself, and so on. And it is purporting that it has issues surrounding a perceived impasse between government and the Catholic Church. We want to make it clear again that that document is fake, it is false, and no such email exists. And we want to take the opportunity to reiterate that there is no impasse, no conflict that is existing between the Catholic Church and the government. Our relationship with the Catholic Church remains cordial, remains consultative, and it is a partnership that spans many years. And the government has continued to engage with the Church in general and the Catholic Church in particular over matters to do with national concerns. As you know, the Church and the government serve the same people. It is the same citizens that the government serves that also form congregation on Sundays in our various churches and on Saturdays in our various churches. So the government and the church work hand in hand to serve the same people. We want to make it very clear that if there is any impasse at all, if there's any issue at all, the government is an institution and it does not deal or transact with individuals. It equally deals and transacts with institutions. And in this case, as it relates to the Catholic, we are talking about the Council of Catholic Bishops. And that is what you saw yesterday in the press release, that you saw a delegation of cabinet ministers dealing with the chairperson of the Council of Catholic Bishops, because government does not deal with individuals, it deals with institutions. And as you are aware, if there's an issue that the Catholic Church would want to communicate, they do so through various forums. Number one, they do so through direct engagement with government because they have access to the government, they have access to the president as and when they need to. Number two, they do so in a pastoral letter. And when they release the pastoral letter, their feelings are expressed in the letter. And therefore, as government, we deal with the institution and the channels of communications thereby established. So I want to re-emphasize that there is no impasse and there is no conflict between the Catholic Church and the government of Zambia. And therefore, our relationship remains cordial. Our relationship remains that of cooperating partners. Let me now address myself to the people behind these fake documents that are concocting these documents, that are making forged documents and publicizing them, purporting them to be true when in fact not. That this is an offense before the law and is contained in section 344 of the Penal Code, chapter 87 of the laws of Zambia, which provides for, and I quote, any person who makes a false document who A, makes a document purporting to be what in fact is not, B, alters a document without authority in such a manner that if the alteration had been authorized, it would have altered the effect of the document, C, introduces into a document without authority while it is being drawn up, matter which it had been authorized would have altered the effect of the document, and D, signs a document which one, in the name of any person without his authority, whether such a name, or is not the same as that of the person signing. 2, in the name of any fictitious person alleged to exist, whether the fictitious person is or not alleged to be the same as the person signing. 3, in the name represented as being the name of a different person from that of the person signing it and intended to be mistaken for the name of that person. And 5, in the name of a person personated by the person signing the document, provided that the effect of the instrument depends upon the identity between the person signing the document and the person whom he professes to be. This is against the laws of Zambia. And this is what we have been saying, that people want to cry foul when they are arrested, yet they are daring the law and breaking the law with impunity. These documents are bearing signatures. The other one says Joseph Akafumba. When it is a forgery, it was not signed by Mr. Akafumba, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Internal Affairs. As you can see, even just the letterhead on which they printed this purported letter is different from the actual letterhead that the Ministry of Internal Affairs uses. You can see the difference. This is the letterhead from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And this is a forgery. And a name is signed there. The name of the permanent secretary with a signature. And the law is very clear. The other one is a letterhead purporting to be from State House and signed bearing the name of His Excellency the President. Yet, this is not a State House letterhead. And this is not the President's signature, but purporting to have been signed by His Excellency the President. So this is taking it a step too far. And I want to assure you, those of you that are in this business of making these fake documents, But on this one, the law will catch up with you. And I want to say it very clearly in a language you understand. Mzamzi wa Yesu. Because you have taken yourselves way beyond. This is all done in an effort to try and instigate a conflict between the government and the Catholic Church that does not exist. But because you want to keep pushing, you want to exacerbate a situation that does not exist, you will resort to making false documents with intention to incite, with intention to cause division, with intention to alarm the nation. This will not be allowed. We are on you, we know who you are, and very soon you will be picked up and you will dance a parade. That I can assure you. Secondly, we saw with concern our people's cry and heard our people's cry to do with the cancer diseases hospital at the UTH. Most of the machines there are not working. We hear you, our people, and your government is already working hard to ensure that we ameliorate that situation. As I speak today, government through Treasury has already released funds to the Ministry of Health to procure new equipment for the cancer diseases hospital in Lusaka, so that the old equipment which is there, which has become obsolete, is replaced. But over and above that, we have also signed a contract to the tune of $16 million with AVIC to build and equip a brand new cancer hospital in Ndola, which will be completed in the next 12 months. By the time of completion, the hospital will be fully equipped. As we are talking now, the staff to go and work there are undergoing training. The doctors, the nurses, and all the relevant auxiliary staff that need to work at the cancer diseases hospital are there. We are also putting up a replica of the Ndola Hospital in Livingstone. And so far, we already have $9 million and works have begun towards putting up a cancer diseases hospital in Livingstone. And this we also want to do in all provincial centers in the country. So yes, for now we have difficulties with our patients dealing with cancer, afflicted by cancer, and we continue to evacuate some of them. We continue to put up short-term measures to ameliorate some of them, but these are the measures that your government has taken to ensure that we close the chapter of our people suffering from cancer from suffering. We are putting up new equipment in UTH, brand new hospital in Ndola, another brand new hospital in Livingstone, and this will decongest Lusaka in terms of cancer diseases. So that is what we wanted to brief you on. Unless you have questions, and your questions are not limited to what we have spoken about, any burning issue that you have, we should be able to take your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Director. At the moment, like has been guided, we will take questions and we'll take them in sets of 3. Likewise, you raise your hand, you stand up and tell us where you're coming from, and then you can pose your question. Any questions?
You know, there are people screaming here. I'm going to say something. Yes.
Just maybe just one, Director. You sound so confident, and in your speech, you sound like you already know the suspects that are behind these falsehoods on social media. Why not just maybe take a step and bring the culprits to book, other than maybe putting that threat to say uzamuzi wa Yesu or the public?
Firstly, it is not a threat, it's an assurance that uzamuzi wa Yesu. I'm assuring them that what they have done now, uzamuzi wa Yesu. Because it is getting out of hand. We have provided the freedoms that were taken away from the people, and now the same people that took away freedoms from others are the ones now abusing this freedom, and in the process trying to destabilize the country, trying to implant division in the country, trying to alarm the nation. We will deal with that. We will deal with that. Because you see, even the way they are operating, always coming up with fake scenarios aimed at alarming the nation over non-issues. That is why you saw that they raised an issue over the so-called 65 billion kwacha when there was no issue there. You, as members of the press, you witnessed when that money was discovered by the law enforcement agencies. You did the same when the money was moved to the Ministry of Finance. You did the same when the money was given to the University of Zambia. But still more, you give an opportunity to unscrupulous people to try and raise the matter purporting that the money has been stolen when in fact it has not been stolen. Basically, these are thieves creating a story to show that the money they stole has been stolen. How do people reason like that? But you can't be surprised. That's how they think. Okay? We are done?
Director,
Yes.
I'm blessed from Crown TV. I just want to get your comment regarding what PF members of Parliament are complaining. They're saying that they're being arrested without issuing products, which others are describing as abducting them. Maybe a quick reaction to that.
Well, unless you prove to me that a PF member of Parliament was seen running and police chasing after him, I think they are being arrested in accordance with the law. And anybody who is being arrested is being arrested because they have come into conflict with the law. And there's nobody special and there's nobody above the law. So unless you show me a cops and robbers story where somebody is running and the police are chasing after them, then yes, we can say that they are being, arrested wantonly. But if you come into conflict with the law is followed and you are arrested. So nobody is being arrested without due process of the law. So call out is given and they are arrested. And the police do not abduct. How can the police abduct a person? They are just being arrested, and when they are kept, they are also kept in custody, compliments of GRZ, and they are kept safely in police custody.
Any more questions? Yes, Mr. P.
Good morning, there.
Morning, Mr. P.
There's a call out circulating on social media for Mr. Joseph Mmembe from News Diggers. Could it be in connection of the same? And if so, I would like to get it clear that how should the media and the people who are maybe creating those documents be separated? Because ours as media is to publish what people should know, not manufacturing, but publishing what people should know. So I don't know how you draw the line.
So to start with, I am not aware about the call out for Mr. Mmembe. I'm yet to acquaint myself with that. But also to answer the second part of your question, Yes, as media, you have a responsibility to inform the nation, but you also have a bigger responsibility not to misinform the nation. Yes, your role is to publish, but you must be able to verify what you publish. So sources will come to you with different information. Before you run that information, before you publish, check the, is it authentic information? So check with it, be able to get a balance so that by the time you publish, it is a story that is balanced and you have got both sides, than to run and publish a story that is half-baked and it turns out to actually be a lie or a fake document. Because the law is very clear. It's not just about the one falsifying the document. The law also applies to the one publicizing the same document, including the one who, for example, on phone, social media, WhatsApp, and so on, is forwarding the same. The law covers for all that. So we all need to operate within the realms of the law and ensure that as media especially, we are very careful that whatever information we receive from our sources, we verify that information and ensure that it is information that is worthy to be taken out there to inform the public and not misinform the public, to alert the public and not alarm the public.
On that theme, sorry, Director. Sometimes clarifying certain information has proved a very huge challenge, especially to those who would want to verify it. What are you doing about that same challenge? I think maybe my colleagues could have easy access, but for me, I find it a huge challenge.
Well, we want to make it also very clear that as New Dawn administration, we run an open door policy. I can speak on behalf of the Ministry of Information that when journalists come here looking for information, trying to clarify information, there is always an officer available to be able to respond and give the clarity. My minister, the chief government spokesperson, is always on hand to clarify and give position. My permanent secretary is always on hand to give clarity. Myself, I am always on hand to give clarity. My colleague, Director Press, is always on hand to give clarity. So it depends on where you go. But I would advise journalists that it is good to come to the Ministry of Information and Media and you will be able to get the clarity that you need. You see, Mr. Piri and I were in the same class. Remember, we went to school together.
Maybe, Director, this is not for capturing. We also have a desk in the ministry.
Yeah.